Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Dani and I am working on self-converting this van. So I have a Ram ProMaster and I bought this Ram ProMaster back in February of 2024, and ever since then I've been working on self-converting it. Yeah, but today I'm working on putting together or finalizing my upper cabinets. After building this door, and it's not perfect by any means, but after building that, I decided that carpentry is actually very hard, especially for pieces of, a hawk needed to make her statement. Yeah, so after building that door, reminder, I didn't have a door available to buy, so I literally made it out of whatever 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch scraps I had. That alone was hard, and that was just a piece of rectangle. So I decided for my cabinets and countertops that kind of need to look a little bit more pretty, I decided to order those from a company called Veritas Vans. So they custom make upper cabinets for particular vans like Ram ProMasters, Sprinter vans, I think Fords too. I spent a little bit more money because I wanted my cabinets to have a rattan face, and I wanted specific sizes. So it's cheaper if you just did the sizes, that the preset size that they have, versus me, I went the custom route for the exact sizes that I needed in depths and heights and stuff like that. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you all how I did my cabinets, because even though I did custom, it didn't quite fit in my van, so I had to tweak it just a little bit. I'm going to show you all how I put them together, the modifications that I made, and most importantly, how I did the rattan faces, because I think they look really lovely.
Before I get started, I'd like to introduce a new painter, Franco. He's one of my friends who was featured in the first van vlog episodes. While he paints some of the lower cabinets, I will work on assembling the upper cabinets. Before I could assemble the cabinets, I had to cut an angled notch on each side panel so that it would sit better flushed to my existing walls and furring strip. I used a cardboard cutout to help me figure out the best cut, and I used a jigsaw to cut a couple of inches from the back corners of the side panels.
They don't send you instructions, but that's okay because conserving paper in a way. But I decided to print the instructions here, available on it's on like a QR code with the package. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory, just like building IKEA cabinets really, and I think it's really worth it.
The kit came with hardware to assemble the cabinet panels together, and I used wood glue for extra security. And here is how the smaller cabinet looks assembled. You can see the angled cut that I made on the back corners as well. One thing to note is that I later added another cross beam to the back of the cabinet where the angled notch is, so that I have more places to screw or to secure the cabinet to my furring strips. Now that the cabinets were assembled, I primed them with a Zinsser primer and painted them with paint from Home Depot. I ended up buying a paint sprayer because it was honestly so time consuming painting the old-fashioned way. And I really do recommend investing in a paint sprayer because it cuts painting time down so much and it applies the paint so beautifully. And here's how one of my larger cabinet looks after recently being sprayed with paint. Moving on over to one of my cabinets that's already drying. And lastly, the cabinet faces.
First and foremost, I ordered this Rattan, pretty sure it's Rattan, from Amazon. And I know some people like to like soak them or whatever. I think I tried to steam it because I thought steaming would help unfurl it, but I don't got time for that. I also don't really have like a place to, like, they said to soak it, and I didn't really think I need to do that. So I just pretty much cut it to size of what I need it to be. And I give it a little bit of extra room so that I have something to grip when I'm pulling it to make it taut. To make it taut. Here should be good. Okay. That should be good. So put that off to the side. And then I have this like staple gun. Yeah, it's like a 3-in-1 staple gun from Amazon. You just staple it on. Not much to it. This is the hardware that comes with the cabinet pieces, so I try to grip I start at the corner, and then I try to grip these in place, like such. I have to kind of like lightly hammer them in. Okay. And I'll staple them in. Try to get that down. That's me. Okay, good. Please don't staple my fingers. There. Okay. Okay. Here. And one more. But like, okay. Usually I do that all at the end, but I'll show you all now. There's gonna be a piece of hardware on this side, so I try to clear it up so that here we go. Then I pull it as like taut as possible on the opposite end for here. I pull it as taut as possible, and then I staple it in again. Okay, so now I have, you can see I kind of have this edge, and I'll just show it here. And it's like a staggered, like staple kind of look. Okay, so now I'm gonna, like I said, I did enough so that I can pull it kind of taut. Right. Just gonna randomly do like these ones.
And after all that stapling and stretching of the rattan, here's the cabinet's final look. This is what it looks like in the back with all the staples, and this is what it looks like in the front. I rinse and repeat and did that with all the cabinet faces. I had to use quite a bit of staples and quite a bit of grip power. And here is the almost final look of the larger cabinet. You can see how the rattan faces look, and you can see the upper crossbeam didn't get painted because no one's gonna see it, so I didn't see any need to paint it. Opening up the cabinet, you can see inside the back crossbeam that I installed using pocket screws or pocket holes, and I connected it. I did 2 cross beams, one for each cabinet part, I guess you could say. And I did like the way the rattan faced look. I thought it was very nice and beautiful. One thing to note though is that I did try to install the gas struts, and I faced an issue where it did pop off the upper cross beam, and you see that the hardware didn't really help keep it secured, so I used construction adhesive, and I used wood screws going in from the top to secure it in place better. I thought that the gas struts were too strong at first, and because the cabinet face is technically lighter than what one would think, so I tried to do a little force calculation for my gas struts that I needed. But through trial and error of getting weaker gas struts, it did not work out. I ended up using the gas struts that came with the kit. It was just a little bit difficult to install, but I eventually got it.
You know what I always say, it ain't DIY if you don't gotta do it twice. Well, I actually didn't say that, but I have to spend many hours undoing the staples because the rattan that I had warped under significantly different temperatures. So we kind of got we had a fake fall in Florida, and it got all cold and then it got all hot, and these were sitting in my van, and my van got all cold and it got all hot on different days, and the rattan warped really ugly so it looked really nasty. So I took all the staples out. It took a long time, and you see now it looks really ugly. Thankfully that's just the inside. So I had sanded it down, so this is me redoing it. You can kind of see, so you can't see all the messiness, but I sanded it and then repainted it, and I have to redo the rattan. But I decided to buy a different one that's more plastic based, I think, so it doesn't warp. It's not I think the rattan that I had is actual wood piece, actual piece of natural fibers. It's hard to yeah, I think it was actual natural fibers, but yeah, that kind of made it susceptible to warping, if I don't know. So yeah, the new one that I bought is more plasticky, and I think it'll look nicer. But yeah, I only got 2 out, and it took me 3 hours to take the hundreds of staples out, and I'm still working on. So that's 2. I have 2 more to go. I just finished this one, so 2 more to go after this one. Yeah.
And here is the final look of the larger cabinet with the swapped out rattan and the cabinet hardware that I chose. You can see the bottom floor of the cabinet there. It's eventually gonna slide in and cover the puck lights and wiring. And there's the gas strut that I used that came with the kit.
I mentioned already the other rattan was kind of bad. in the sense that it was actually like natural fibers that warped with the varying temperatures. So I bought this new one. This one you can see, and it's like plasticky, so it's not like real, but it makes it a lot easier to apply, for one. See? And for two, you can, the directions said to put it in warm water and you can unfurl it. I'm pretty sure with the natural you could still do that, but since it was I don't know, I just didn't, and I didn't feel like doing it. I just had to undo it, so that was the solution. Like I said, if it ain't DIY, if you don't do it twice. A lot of projects around here I actually ended up having to do twice because I messed up the first time. I recommend this one. I'm going to link this one in my description below because it's a lot easier to apply and unfurl. And you can see the application. This bird, oh shut up. You can see this is the cabinet face. A lot easier to apply. I wasn't a fool this time. I only stapled the sides and then I super glued these sides, and so you can take a look at that. There you go. That's how it looks. A lot nicer in my opinion. Yes, the holes are bigger, but I don't care. I wanted this type of look anyhow. And yeah, so not much to it. Pretty much the same process as the original natural rattan natural fiber rattan. Just this one was just a lot easier. It took way less time to do it. And I got my puck plates in, and I'm using two lever connectors to wire them up. There's my other puck plate. I'm just gonna wire them up. I don't know how I'm gonna route it yet. I'm still figuring that out.
I didn't get to video the installation of my cabinets, but one of my coworkers named Luke held the cabinets in place for me while I screwed them into my furring strips.
You can't tell. Okay. And then I'm gonna slide it.
After getting the kitchen light wired, I started wiring up my bedroom lights. Something to note is that I did all my pre-wiring all prior to this, even before the walls were up.
That's the bedroom lights. Yeah. And the kitchen lights. And the ceiling lights. But they're all double. Dimmable. And dimmable. Still need to install like I think like magnets for these guys, and then you still need to put like a liner to cover this mess up. Looks like still a few small items to do, but for the most part it's all done. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's all done. Oops. And the kitchen. My kitchen cabinet. I already have one of my water bottles in here, and I used this blue tape to let me know where like a furring strip is, so don't need that anymore. But yeah. Need like a magnet to keep it closed. Thank you all again for watching, and don't forget to check me out on Instagram and TikTok for other contents that I post there as well.